dispose of waste properly. We'll work out the exact, I'm not sure the exact days when things are picked up and...
Trash every day, recycle, is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Trash every day, recycle 4 days a week, but we need to pick up more than
Okay.
That's just a start to feel it out. The trash we just want out of here.
Yeah. Understandable. Yeah.
Well, sometimes you try and, Sunday, Monday, you say we get away with the day. Tuesday's not as, crazy, but let's just get it out of here.
So anytime that you see something also on the ground, or if you see something in the locker room, whatever it is, pick it up, throw it out, keep it moving, wash those hands. All right? For the logistics of linens, we'll walk through. There is a system for it. Just keep that in mind. There's going to be a place where you are folding, a place where you're dropping soiled linens off, aprons, all of that, to be determined. Okay? Cool? All right. So, pests are real. Where do pests come from? Real question. Where do pests come from? Sam? The walls. The walls? That's where they choose to live. All right. What brings them in? Food. Definitely. Food, crumbs, sugar. All of that matters. There's a reason why we're going to be a little aggressive about cleaning things. We want to maintain our space. It's also not a good experience to either be dining or working in a place that has a major pest problem. Do your part, okay? So in the meantime, if you see anything, any door jambs that are broken, any holes anywhere, any piles of stuff, anything like that, be accountable. Be proactive and let us know anything that we need to, because we want to get ahead of any issue that may or may not come to fruition. All right? So we have ice. We'll be always using a scoop. Please don't put any glasses into an ice machine. That's just or pitchers, which we don't have. But please don't put glasses or anything that can break, anything other than an ice scoop into the ice machine, okay? Please. All right? You see my eye twitch? Okay. Anytime that you have any lids, any drinks, I'm sorry, make sure it has a lid and you're using a straw. We want to make sure that we're in line with Health Code 100%. This stuff, cross-contamination, this is good for you to read, but again, this is not something that you are on the forefront of, but know that there is a process for all of it. Storing food and equipment properly. This is your espresso machine, your iced tea machine, even your lockers, the shelves, all of it. Respect the space, clean them, maintain them. Please don't take shortcuts. Shortcuts don't get you anywhere worth going. All right? So I love this section that goes down here of preventing falls and how to prevent electric shock and how to live properly. Literally, it's broken down how to be safe in this space. If there's water on the ground, please pick it up. If you see something sharp, or if you're going around any corners, say corner, say behind. Communicate with everybody. Make sure that everybody is safe. Do you want to add anything on safety?
If you see a rusty nail, don't step on it. Yeah. Good.
But in terms of division of responsibility, all the managers will be receptive to your feedback, but that specifically is something that Ryan and myself will be responsible for. So you see one of us, and ideally just if you just write it on a little piece of paper, stick it in our pocket, we'll get it to it the very next day within 24 hours. We'll delve in there. Hopefully we've already seen it. Yeah, I got that. We're on it. But just let us know.
Work. All right. So the rest of this information here, and again, I'll be emailing it to you so everybody has a specific copy. You will be signing off on it, as will we. Just as an agreement of what we talked about. Not if it's, you know, holding
Show
everybody
that you
accountable.
read it.
What'd you say?
To show that you've read it.
Yeah, show that you read it, show that you agreed to it. All right, so I want to swing back real quick to alcohol safety. We are serving alcohol, all right? What are some general rules about alcohol safety that you just know in general? 21 and over, definitely, that's a big one.
Customer had enough. He had enough.
Say it again.
Customer had enough. Make a decision that he had enough.
A customer.
Oh, yes.
Are we up? Yes.
Customer who will die.
Yes, you will die.
Yes.
Perfect.
Identify VIPs.
Thanks for doing that on purpose. That was good. Way to test it. That was good. That's smart. I see that.
Very intoxicated people.
Just making sure every
Oh.
other is right.
Ooh.
So you don't serve them.
Oh. I like that. In a weird way. I really like that. Very intoxicated person. You want to keep your eye out. As we said, we have 21 is the legal age of drinking. How do you establish if someone is 21? You check IDs. What are the guidelines as of today? What should it read? Huh? Anybody under 30, correct? That's when you decide. How old do I look?
Under 30.
I am 30, but you should be IDing me when I come into your restaurant, because we've also had the benefit of talking, and you can tell that I'm not underage. But if we didn't talk, is it possible? Yeah, it totally is. Okay. If they look like you, ID them. Okay. What else do we need for the ID?
Valid.
Valid.
Expired.
And what are the acceptable forms of ID? License? Mm-hmm.
State ID.
License.
That got a
It
good
can be
one.
S or E. It depends if you're English.
What'd you say?
It can be an S or an E. The license. Is that like?
Spell it either way.
Perfect.
Yeah.
State ID. I'm sorry, guys.
Pass.
Passport.
Military ID.
Yes.
That's it.
We don't accept photocopies of anything.
Birth certificates.
An out-of-state ID, not driver's license.
That's fine, as long as it's valid.
What
And it's
about
issued by the state.
Or international IDs? Because I've been with my friend who's German. They didn't accept, and Jose Pistola, even though
Yeah.
that's like her.
Has to be a passport or a card,
Right.
because it counts over there for sure,
Mhm.
but doesn't count here. Also in Pennsylvania, PLCB, Liquor Control Board, oh, they don't play. They don't play at all. I'll tell you a little story. At my former restaurant a couple of years ago, I worked at Alves, by the way, which is a lot of alcohol in Midtown Village. We had an incident at the bar where a guest was asked for an ID. They gave one. Bartender picks it up, puts it down, gives him a drink. She totally did the math wrong. Totally did the math wrong. We had the undercover agent come right through with his badge. We got a citation, a point on our liquor license, and had to pay a fine. And that server and that bartender, in this case, wasn't, but could have been personally held responsible for that. It's not a joke. It's very serious, and you need to treat it with respect. Okay? So we have, back to these signs, very intoxicated person. What does that look like? How can you tell someone's a VIP?
Prosthetic, slurring.
Very loud, falling over.
Also something to look for. Go ahead.
I think it doesn't have to be as dramatic as that. Like if you saw them in the beginning of the night and then 2 hours later they're speaking louder, like just the way they're handling themselves is different, that could attribute to alcohol.
Totally. You're right. There's individual differences, and some people handle things differently. And we're talking like naturally, you get a little loud, a little excited, but we're talking about like over the top, like yeah, like what is happening over there, kind of thing. So anything that draws attention in a negative way or takes away from an experience, yes. But you're right. It doesn't need to be as dramatic as that, for sure.
And I'm sure you said or were going to say, this is a great time to get us involved, the managers involved, because it just becomes uncomfortable for you guys, and you just kind of pull our coattails to it. You know, Ryan's very well versed in that. I think it happens more so here than Todd's had some experience with probably a bar. Of course, it can happen anywhere, but it's more than likely going to be a jazz cafe late night scenario or a bar scenario. So get us involved. We want to be involved. We'll assist in that process.
And there's also sometimes you feel weird where it's like, oh man, am I really gonna have to cut this person off and like all of this? But the truth is, we're here to keep people safe, and we want them to have a good time. And I'm sorry, but nobody who's that drunk is having a good time. That's just my opinion.
At the table, would you like the servers to be checking IDs or a manager to come do that?
Service.
The service.
Yeah, it's an organic, because we don't need to draw a lot of attention to it. It's more like this is for you guys a backstory that you know that there's support and you know that that expectation's there. Yes.
Is it for everybody at the table, or is it just whoever's ordering the drink?
It's whoever is ordering, but you also need to be aware when somebody's playing a game.
Yeah.
Who is under 21? Okay. So you know.
It's all right.
Part of that, I mean, you know when you're trying to drink at, you know, when you have a permissive environment and you know the places that you can go to have that beer and have that, you know, whatever. And sometimes there's games of like, well, I'm gonna order it for you, and then, but it's really mine, and switching glasses and things like that. That does happen. So just be aware that that's a possibility. But yeah, for our purposes, just ID that person who's drinking. If you see somebody who you did not ID who's drinking, it's okay to just, hey, can I just see your ID real fast? And then, you know, there it is. Because we just want everybody to be safe. Huh?
What do you do if they're underage once they're?
I'd be like, well,
yeah.
okay, sorry about that. Would you like a soda? Yeah, hopefully it doesn't get to that point. But, you know, we wanna treat the situation so it's still, you can still navigate it, you can still negotiate it, and that everybody walks away with their integrity.
And I think there is a specific law as far as people eating at the same table with alcohol of being like, there has to be one person over 30.
Pizza Hut rule. What is it?
What'd you say?
It's called the Pizza Hut rule, I think. Really?
Do you want to talk about the Pizza Hut rule?
Yeah, so you'll get this in RAM training. So you're gonna get this in RAM training, but it's, there has to be an adult that's, I think, 25 years or older with the company, or you can't, like someone that's 21 and someone that's 18, you can't drink because that person's 18. It's a weird state law. It's called the Pizza Hut rule.
But we will, and what he's talking about too, you will be RAM certified. So you will know there's a test, there's some quizzes, like you are going to be walking. I haven't figured out the word yet, but that's what you're going to do. All right, so again, this is something that we'll continue to visit, just something to watch out for. Just making sure that we are responsible for everybody within these walls. Okay? I think that we're pretty good on just outlining general expectations, and we'll be able to reinforce some more things tomorrow.
Awesome. Do we want to just take a